Hi guys, I keep getting asked what couplings I'm going to be using on the Corris stock that we've been building. And even as I film this video, I still don't know. So that's what we're here to find out. So firstly, let's go through some of the options I'm considering. So first off are the standard Bachmann ones that come with a ready to run stock. They do work well and they're easy to use, but they're huge and they're ugly. A step up from these are the Greenwich Couplings. These are really popular with 009 modelers. They're basically the same style as the Bachmann, but come on a pre-blackened etched brass fret. So you must build them yourself, but it is easy once you get the hang of it. And comparing them to the Bachmann versions, they're much thinner, so they do improve the look of the stock. They also come with some wire to attach to the coupling hoop, which responds to magnets under the track, which gives you auto uncoupling. I won't be going into this sort of detail with some of the other couplings on this video, but I'll quickly build one of these for you, since I use them on my 5.5mm stock, so it will get used. The first thing to do is remove them from the fret. It comes with enough hoops to go on every coupling, however it's common to only have hoops on one end of the model, and a basic hook on the other. The next thing to do is fold them up. The main body is essentially two main folds, along where the little nicks have been cut out. I tend to slightly curve the head of the coupling to aid on corners. The next job is bending down the two hoops on the side of it. This is for the pin to slide through, which attaches the two parts together. These holes might need opening up a little bit for the pin to move freely, which is what you want. The second part is the hoop. Again, this just has two bends to make. The two parts can now be joined and a pin slotted through the four holes. Check that it's nice and free, and then bend the end of the pin down to lock it in place and snip off any excess. Finally, the wire can be wound around the arm. Not a huge amount is required, and you can always check this by running over a magnet to see if it lifts. The good thing about Greenwich are that they also produce an etched sheet for coupling height, as well as magnet depth. Another option like these ones are the DG couplings. These are mostly used on N-gauge stock, and I will be using these on my N-gauge venture. For setting a height, you can make something like this. Peco make close couplings. I haven't got any here, but I'm quite undecided about these. You obviously get smaller gaps between the stock, but you lose the auto coupling, and they really don't look very good. The next option are hook and chains. These are built up from etches from Roxy mouldings. The thing about couplings are, they ruin an otherwise very convincing model. So if realism is something you're after, and I am, this is the one to go for. And I think this is the one I'll go for. They do need to be put together and it is very fiddly, but this is my method. The hook and eyes can be cut from the etched fret. I can't remember what size the chain is as it's just from one of my boxes. I use 2 links for each coupling. They can be cut free from the chain using a knife, as this chain is quite soft. So here's where it gets really fiddly, and you can see how small these separate links are. I'm now threading the parts together. Hook, 2 links and an eye. When you've threaded them onto the link, the gap can be squeezed closed again. Wagons are now prepared for couplings. As the etches are so small, they won't really be strong enough to be glued on the bottom of the frames, so I drill a small hole with a pin drill. It's just large enough to push the eye in. Because they're so small and fine, I wouldn't really want to paint them, so I opted to blacken them with brass blackener. I pour a small amount into a container and drop the couplings in. They're so small that they don't even break the surface tension on the water, so you'll need to push them under. The reaction only takes 10 to 20 seconds, and it's really interesting to see them change. The solution turns blue as the reaction proceeds. I soak up the solution and dispose of it. I don't put it down a drain as it's not safe for the environment. And now they're ready to go. So now they're ready to go on a stock. And as they were a push fit in the drilled holes, a drop of superglue really sets them in place. The only thing that's a different process is the tattoo. As the buffer beams come cut out ready for the Bachmann couplings, I've just added a bit of superglue on top of the hole, but eventually I will fill in the buffer beams and drill a hole like the wagons. So finally I've put a table together for comparison. Obviously a few columns are personal preference, such as the aesthetics and how easy they are to put together or use. So this really is my opinion. The main thing to look at really is the cost per coupling. For me, the main thing, apart from the realism, is the cost per coupling, at just 8p per hook and chain compared to over £1 per Bachmann. And this will really add up with a large collection. So here are a few clips testing the couplings. This was actually the first time I've run the tattoo, so it could do with a bit of running in to get some smoother running. But the point here is how good the chains look, especially when the train pulls away and the wagons become taut one by one. And there we go. This decision was not easy for me, but the look of the chains really took the win. And the fact I can't auto uncouple with magnets, it's really not an issue for this stock because, as you'll see pretty soon, the layout I'm going to be building for it doesn't have any points. Another bonus with the hook and chains is that they can work over varied heights, unlike things like the Greenwich, which really need a precise level to work correctly. But as I keep saying, couplings really are a personal choice. There's not really a right or wrong answer, so just weigh up what's important for you and your models and go with that. Now the majority of the stock is complete for Corris, the attention is going to turn to the layout, so stick around for that. So thanks for watching again, and make sure to like and subscribe. Cheers.